What's going on, everybody? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. Tuesday night WNBA showdown slate, 10K to first. Pretty good contest for a showdown slate that doesn't involve Caitlin Clark, so I will absolutely take it. I hope everybody enjoys the night we have off tonight. I know I am. I am just utterly exhausted from the weekend. I didn't get a lot of sleep, but it was worth it. Usually we do just recap of last night, but I want to recap the whole weekend since it's just a showdown slate. The video will be shorter anyway. So Sunday's slate, I mentioned in the live stream, the Discord, pretty much wherever, that I was very high on Natasha Cloud and Kalia Copper. I really loved stacking them both. Both of them went nuts. They went for 100 combined. Then obviously the bigger news elsewhere was Kia Stokes out with an illness, so I did pivot to Alicia Clark. Obviously, Natasha Mack really hurt my lineup. Even though she wasn't starting, I still preferred her to Herbert Harrigan. Sadly, the minutes just were, the gap was too wide. Mack played 10 minutes, put up 7.75 fantasy points. Herbert Harrigan played 30 minutes and put up, I think, just short of 14. So had I played Harrigan and just left the salary on the table, instead of winning $100, I think I would have won like $175, which in hindsight, obviously, you want to do. But looking back on it, I would just play Natasha Mack again. She's such a good fantasy point per minute player. I thought the minutes were going to be there a little bit more than they were, and they just weren't. But it is what it is. Then Saturday night, I'm sure most of you already know, I finished second in the big contest. Dorka versus Zandalasini. It was just a straight 1v1. I was never playing Zandalasini over Dorka. I just couldn't. So I lost. I got second place. I had first up until pretty late in the game. But it is what it is. I double stacked Indiana here, Clark and Boston, and then I mentioned all throughout the day how high I was on Minnesota. I played 3 Minnesota players and brought it back with me, Shahines Allen. I loved her after we got news that Inksler was going to be out. And then on Friday night, I ended up getting 22nd in the big contest. Won a decent amount of money, but in the live stream, I mentioned of the three in the tier of Big T, Talbot, and Camila Cardosa, that Big T was the best tournament play. She just come with a lot of risk, but at that price, it was really hard to pass her by. I did, and I played Talbot, and it ended up being the 1v1 that cost me the takedown. Had I played Big T, I would have split first with 6 other people, but it tells me I'm on the right track. I was a 1v1 swap away from winning first on Friday and Saturday night, so we're heating up, which is what I've been needing. I had some bad variance and a cold streak, but heating up right before the break, right before the Queen of the Court contest is what I'm happy about. So let's lock in and keep it rolling. Let's look at the odds for this showdown slate, and then we'll go team by team and break it down. Lynx are 7-point favorites on the road, over under of 156. This Sparks team, they're pretty scrappy. I think that spread's a little wide, especially because I do not expect Nafisa Collier to play. She's in a boot. I'm worried that she's going to miss the Olympics. I hope not. I hope she's able to make it back and play for Team USA. It would just be awful if she's not able to play. But I would be absolutely shocked if she's able to play in this game. I'm not expecting her to. I'm not projecting her to play. So this entire video would be null and void on the Minnesota side if for some reason she is playing. But we're going to proceed as if she is out. Alana Smith, 9,600, looks fantastic. Minutes ticked back up. She's playing 30 minutes practically. She was like 29.8 minutes. Shot 2 of 11 and still put up 29.5 fantasy points. She has a big ceiling. She could put up mid-40s and maybe even touch 50. She shot 2 of 11. There's a lot of meat left on the bone with Alana Smith. Good matchup. Kayla McBride, 9,200, going to play low to mid-30s minutes. Going to take on more usage. Only shot 12 times this last time out. But had a decent game. The peripheral stats are what we always worry about with her. And now let's talk about Courtney Williams, who we do not have to worry about the peripheral stats with. If Courtney Williams is going to take 16 shots, she's probably going to be the optimal captain. Just saying. Because the peripheral stats are going to be there for her, and especially if she's going to play over 30 minutes. There is a lot to like in Courtney Williams, especially with Fee out. Carrollton, pretty scoring dependent at 7K. Good matchup. Think she can get a lot of open looks at 3, so don't mind taking shots on her for tournaments. Dorka, mentioned her earlier. She played 23 minutes, and Zandalasini played 17. They split Fee's minutes directly, even or not evenly, but the 40 minutes split between those two. I would expect Dorka to remain in that 22 to 25 minute range, and Zandalasini to be in that 15 to 17 range. She's pretty scoring dependent. I don't want to say she's fully scoring dependent, but she's a good scorer, can create her own shot. Don't mind taking shots on her in tournaments. Diamond Miller is still on her minutes limit. I would expect her to play around 10 to 12 minutes. She's looking a lot better. You can tell she's getting healthier and starting to play like the Diamond Miller of old, which I absolutely love to see. I love her talent. Natisha Heidemann, really hard for me to prioritize her with Courtney Williams playing better. Her minutes are really going to be capped around 10. We'll see on Afufa if she's active. I may have a little bit of interest in her. If she is out, I would have a little bit of interest down here at 2K for Peely. She saw 10 minutes. If Diamond Miller plays more, it probably would kill Peely, but for 2K, I think you can take shots on her in tournaments if Afufa's out and we get word that Miller is still on her minutes limit. On the Spark side, we are waiting on Talbot news. I'm not expecting her to play. She left really early in the game and did not return. So I would be pretty surprised if she plays, but that is news that we'll have to wait to get, I'm sure. If she is out, Azura Stevens looks fantastic, 7,600. She played 26 minutes in her debut when they were expecting to not have to play her that much. I was expecting her to play like 10 to 14 minutes. She put up 28.5 fantasy points in 26 minutes, so she would look great. If Talbot is out, would expect like low 30s minutes for her. Hamby has been playing great of late, like first of the season Hamby. Big usage, can get you the peripheral stats. Been scoring just at an elite clip of late. Absolutely love her at the top. Aerie, 8,400. She shot 1 of 10, so the minutes tick down. Her minutes have been super secure of late. Obviously not expecting her to shoot 1 of 10 again. The peripherals have been solid as well. Would expect her to get back up to her 33 to 36 minutes, assuming she just doesn't shoot 1 of 10 again. Rakia Jackson, another player that has been playing a lot better of late. This is what you want to see in Rakia Jackson. 9 peripheral stats, 9 peripheral stats, 9 peripheral stats, 8 peripheral stats. And she's taken a ton of usage and playing massive minutes. I'm a fan of Rakia. I liked her in her Tennessee days. She's always been built and pro-ready. It looks like the game is starting to slow down for her. I have a lot of interest in her at 6,600. Earlier in the season, she was really scoring dependent. Her peripheral stats were not consistent, but you can tell she's never been afraid to get in some battles down low and fight for some boards. So I do have some interest in Rakia Jackson. Yuru's minutes are just evaporated. She played 4 minutes, the first 4 minutes after Talbot left the game, and then never returned again. Azura Stevens just absolutely dominated the big minutes. Nurse, really hard to recommend. She's extremely scoring dependent. Does not offer much of anything else besides scoring. And the minutes have just not been that great. If you're going to play any of these cheap guards for the Sparks, it's probably Burrell and, shockingly, Clarendon. She's had 2 decent games back-to-back. Not saying that she's going to go out and you can expect 15 fantasy points. It wouldn't shock me if she got 2, but the minutes are okay for her at 3,200. I think you could do a lot worse. Zia Cook, you can throw her in there. She played 14 minutes. I'm not expecting her to get 3 steals again, but she's fine. Burrell is easily the best option here. Her minutes have been really good of late, even though she has not shot the ball well. 22, 11, 15, 32, and 16. She has shot two of 16 in the last 2 games. So obviously positive shooting regression should be coming for her. And at 4,400, she can easily pay that salary off because she is not afraid to shoot it. So that's going to do it on that. Let's sneak over here and look at Underdog right quick. Obviously, with the showdown slate, you can do a showdown slate like just a 2-person or a 3-person lineup. I never do personally, but I wanted to mention the Wednesday slate. We got 4 games on Wednesday, and it's during the day. They're all early, like morning games, 2 morning games, 2 afternoon games. But they've got a $5K to first here, and then a 4-entry max, $300 to first. I do have my rankings out. I dropped them in the Discord if you guys want to check them out there, or if you want to pause the video, I'm going to scroll through here and let you guys see the rankings. The projections were extremely high, or like when they first dropped the slate, just ridiculously high on everyone. They have reeled them in to a better extent. I still think there's plenty of edge here, and like I mentioned before, if you caught any of the Underdog streams, I always say I love the slates where there's ADP, because you can get a big edge on the field because they look at this ADP like it is the Bible, and it is just absolutely not. There's definitely an edge on this 4-game slate. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the Discord or drop a comment down below. If you don't play on Underdog and you want to play in these drafts, you can use code CREPASS. It's just CREPASS, and it'll be a 100% match up to $250. Absolutely love what Underdog's doing over there. I'm in like 15 to 20 drafts every night, and it's just been a blast. Like, the rankings have really been helping everyone. I've been seeing a lot of people make good money on Underdog as well, which is why I do this. I'm trying to help as many people as I can. But if you enjoy the content, leave a like on the video. Really helps out the channel grow. Hit the subscribe button. We are so close to 400 subscribers. Still got the goal of 500 subscribers before the Olympic break. Would love to get there. But that's going to do it for me, guys, and we'll see you for the next one.